Good morning, good afternoon, good night, my little love bugs. It is 6:55 p.m., July 31st, Monday. I said that totally different than I usually would, but that's okay. We're switching up things today, as we always are. I thank you for your patience in waiting for this podcast, but here I am at the right time, in the right space, at the right place. Okay, a few things I wanted to talk about today. So, first of all, my birthday's coming up, basically next month already, which is pretty crazy, September 7th. And so for the past few months, I've been thinking about not a birthday party because I honestly don't really care too much to celebrate it. Love myself, but I don't know, parties aren't my thing. But I more needed to do a book launch because I made a book and I want people to know about it because it's very helpful and I'm passionate about it. Then I was also planning to move to Europe. I'm still planning on it, but I'm waiting for my Irish passport, so it's not coming up. Well, it might come up in September, who knows? If the stars align. If there are stars, who knows? So first I was thinking I'd host, a little book launch, goodbye, and happy birthday. But then a lot's happened. And then I was laughing to myself and I thought, I want to have a celebration of life for myself. I basically want to have a funeral for the past version of me because I'm not her anymore. And she was so sweet, love her, but I'm different. I think we should all always be forever evolving, but I'm just very different and I plan to be even more different by the time I come home from Europe. So basically, I've been writing, some obituaries for myself, just about how great I was, and also the weaknesses that I had that no longer are weaknesses because I'm deciding to change. I was laughing because I thought, I could just visualize myself having like a little birthday party. Most people are partying, having fun, and then here I am standing up like pretending it's a funeral, saying goodbye to me. But it's funny because for the past year, I feel like I have been grieving myself. Last fall, I was having a little bit of a tricky time. Changes, we love that. And my sister said, well, Sky, I think it's more than like whatever was going on. She's like, I think you're like, grieving yourself too. Because one, I was basically going traveling, which I didn't know when I'd come back because I'm still planning to go. I'm just sort of working it all out still. But I had a year of traveling and I left my apartment and I changed from a relationship and everything was changing and it was so sad but bittersweet. Even right now, this home, I'm here, I just got out of the ocean and I'm at the beach house and it's so beautiful, and it's sad that this place will no longer be what it was, but I'm absolutely thrilled for what's to come. And it's all good. But I'm excited because it's going to be the first birthday for this new Sky baby who is unconditionally confident. I mean, I'm always confident, but sometimes I experience self-doubt, but I will no longer because I almost feel like self-doubt is selfish and it's related to the ego as opposed to just knowing that you're here to serve and help others. Then there won't be any self-doubt because it's not about you. It's about how you're helping. So to just sort of clear away that little cloud that is totally unnecessary and serves no one. Hey, Cleo, our pet seal, I like to call him, is there. And Finn, the little baby seal. Anyways. She's powerful, ambitious, trusting, and loving. I saw a psychic the other day, and she told me I need to trust a little bit more. And I feel like I trust very easily, but I also think I'm almost too independent that I had a belief that I don't need anyone, and I don't think I do need anyone, but we are in an interdependent species. So it is important to work with others and be in relationships, but not be codependent, be interdependent. So that's one thing that I'm shifting from being almost too independent because I can count on myself, you know? But thank you for everyone's presence in my life, and I love you and I appreciate you, but I will not be the same. So don't expect what I was, but I also don't know what to tell you to expect, because I'm hoping the universe just flows me into whatever I'm supposed to evolve into. And I absolutely love my life. It is so beautiful. I honestly, I'm just so blessed. But one thing I like to say is, universe, show me what is possible. And I want to see what's possible of something, a life that I haven't even dreamed of yet. Like, I just want to see what that could be, you know? Just for fun, honestly. Like, everything I do, yes, it's for myself and for others, but majority is just to enjoy this present moment. Today I was walking to work and I was thinking about the past and thinking about the future, and I thought, well, let's just enjoy this moment. And I felt like I was walking in a different city once I started looking around and actually seeing Vancouver, as opposed, you know, like when I'm walking around Sydney or any other any other city, I would look at it different. Where today usually I'm in my mind because I'm walking to work and I know the street and I, know it all, which means I'm not being present. So now I'm being present. And I too, there's the neighbor going by on a paddleboard. I'm excited to meet this new woman. She's already evolving, but oh my God, this is so cute. There's a man paddling and then the seal is just a couple feet behind him. Now I give him a wave. And, sorry, I got distracted, but I can't pause it because it will stop. So I love you. Each and every one of you outside of me, all of the past versions of myself. And thank you all for sharing this journey with me, because realistically I'm not going to have a party, so I'm saying it now. So that's that. Enjoy me while I'm here, because things are going to change, but it's going to be beautiful. And Tony Robbins gives a great example of a thermostat, you know. When people know you as 80 degrees, if you level up to 100 degrees, and then you go back to an environment that they know you as 80 degrees, it's going to be uncomfortable. So you might bring yourself back down to fit back in. Or you might go to an environment and drop to 60 degrees and know that you're at 80 degrees, so you're going to level yourself back up to that 80 degrees. Obviously, you give them a much better visual of it, but you get the gist of it. Is you can level up with me or not. Hope you do, but I'm not leveling back down to meet anyone. But I will bring you up once I know how to bring me up, because I'm here to serve. Soul over matter. I'm reading a book, The Power of Soul, and it's basically explaining the power of your soul, and that everything has a soul, and soul over matter as opposed to mind over matter. So your soul is the leader of your life, basically, which is so true, because physically we're forever evolving. Every 7 years there's completely different new cells, which means your physical brain, every cell in your body molecule is different, but we still feel the same. So we are not our physical body. We know that. We are our spiritual body. I mean, we're all of it, but the spiritual body leads the physical body and the mental body and emotional and all of the above. So I'm trying to spend more time with my soul and get to know her and ask her questions. That's another reason probably why I'm so good on my own, is because I'm never alone. Like, even right now, I just went in the ocean and there was Cleo and Finn. I said, hey buddy, come swim with me. The seals. And then there's a stranger paddling by, and then there's all these bugs. And then there's me and my 17 thoughts. Oh, and there's the fairy waves. See, it's always a fun time. Sorry though, it's going to be a bit loud. But that's nature for you. Ooh, it's coming up. I would pause it, but I can't resume it, and I want it to be the same recording. So your belief systems control your life. You do, see, eat, be everything that you believe. If you believe you're fit, you're going to live a lifestyle that is athletic and active. If you believe you're fat, you're going to eat shit all the time. If you believe you are smart, you're going to read and take care of yourself and do intelligent things. If you believe you're a degenerate, you're going to get, excuse my French, fucked up on the weekend. I think that's a completely just horrible thing to strive for on the weekend. It's totally unnecessary, and it dumbs your brain. But I understand that everyone is where they are, and they are all trying their best. So brainwash yourself. What are your new belief systems? One that I'm working on is I trust more. I'm still comprehending. I don't necessarily feel like I don't trust anyone, but whatever, psychic told me that. So, and I'm open to it. So I'm trying to dive into that because I like to be told what I don't know. So now I'm aware of perhaps something that I can work on. You know, it's the same with, okay, so I do quarterly reviews with my team, everyone on the team, like a check-in. It's more personal than professional. But one common thing that I noticed, back to you are your beliefs, but strive for more. You know, people do get what they want. They're just asking for the bare minimum. I realize that when I hear people, you know, they want a living wage. And it's like, well, do you want a living wage? Do you want to get by, or do you want to thrive? Like, what do you want? I want to thrive. So therefore I have an abundant lifestyle because I believe that I deserve an abundant lifestyle. And that's just like, I don't settle for anything less. I remember Kat asking me, my best friend, years ago, she said, okay, what's everybody's dream car? And I said, well, that's not my dream car, but my next car is a Tesla. And no joke, it was March, April, May, June, I think that month. Yeah, like 2 weeks later, I ended up buying my Tesla. But before I didn't really, you know, think that I was going to buy it anytime soon. But then I swear I declared that, and then everything just aligned, and the universe was like, here you go. It's actually quite simple. And then I bought it, and life was great. But I didn't believe it was my dream car. Yes, my dream car and my next car were one and the same. But why have something in between that? Like, why, if you know you want something, why settle for less, you know? So that's kind of how I think about everything. That's why I like to encourage people to be unrealistic, because it's not necessarily about, you know, can you do it? It's not how are you going to do it, but it's what is it that you want in an ultimate lifestyle. You know, maybe it's simple lifestyle. I'm all for that. I do just want to be, I mean, I want both. I like extreme. I want the intensities of life, and then I want the relax, you know, side of it all. But what is it that you want? And then realize that if you can think it, if you can imagine it, there is nothing that says you cannot have that or be that or give that. I want to give away $1 million. That means the result of my actions, or I'm going to make more, well over $1 million, so that I can give away $1 million. My goal is to give away, then it's inevitable that I'll have so much more than that, so I can give it away in one check. I just think that'd be so fun. I could help so many people. I can help people now, and that's why I'm doing this. But yeah, you know, just think it up. Whatever you want, it's absolutely possible. And if people tell you it's not, that's a lie. It's not true. It might be their belief system, but I believe you can have it all, and you absolutely can. Then it's just a level of what's the priority. Yes, you might not be able to have it all right now at the same time. So then you discover what's the priority for yourself. And then things shift and you focus on that first thing. So the book that I was talking about before is basically talking about healing your soul and soul over matter. So instead of mind over matter, it's just leveled up to that your soul talks to your mind and body. I mean, they're all separate things, but they all work together. But the soul is the boss, as I said in the book. Soul is boss. Do things that are in alignment with your soul and things will be easier. Do things that are not in alignment with your soul and life will be harder. That almost makes it easier for me to give more time to meditating, because then I can figure out, well, what is it that my soul wants? And then how can I live alignment with that? It also takes away the second guessing. I ask my fingers a lot. I guess that doesn't quite make sense if you don't know. But so I used to be quite indecisive. So I would look up tools to help me make decisions easier and faster. So there's one where, so I put my hand sort of flat, either on my leg or wherever I go on a table. Right now it's on my book. And I'll ask it, give me a yes. And a finger will lift up. And they'll say, thank you, give me a no. Another finger will lift up. Thank you. Then I'll ask a question. And the other day I said, am I talking to my soul? Yes. Am I living in alignment with my soul's purpose? Yes. And then I just started asking yes or no questions, and it was really fun. So I suggest you try it. So the physical journey is to serve the soul journey. And it gives you these divine soul downloads, basically like healing. It just says, I love my soul, mind, and body. Balance and harmonize my soul, mind, and body. You say that for a couple minutes. How, which means perfect, wonderful, balance, harmonize, and get well. And then thank you, thank you, thank you. The third, so you say thank you to the divine, thank you to your spiritual fathers and mothers in heaven. The third thank you is to your own soul, mind, and body. You're learning to take yourself out of yourself. You know what I mean? You get the gist of it. And then another thing I saw is routine over motivation, which is so true. For the past month, I didn't really feel, I was tired after basically 8 months of traveling on and off. Wow, I can't believe that already happened. That's just a whirlwind, which I haven't really reflected on, honestly. Oh, it's also the last day of the month, so it's a monthly reflection tonight. But I was a little bit tired when I got home from work today. But I just scheduled it. I scheduled rest from 5 to 6. I scheduled read from 6 to 7. And then I scheduled podcast from 7 to 8. And then I scheduled, what else did I do from 8 to 9? Some other little tasks that I've got to do before I get ready for bed. Oh, reflect, right. So I just said that. See, I wrote it, I quite literally put it in my calendar so that I wouldn't forget. And I'm just at the beginning of the podcast because I got started a bit early because I, moved things around. And then I get to deposit a check because I've been manifesting more abundance and specifically finances and money into my life. And it's been coming. Not a ton, but enough every time I ask. It's pretty funny, honestly. You really just got to ask. So write things down. That's another thing that people don't do is write it down. It's really not that hard. If you schedule it, yes, I could do it for you, but that doesn't really do anyone any good. It's like, feeding you is, you can only bring the horse to water. I can only teach you these tools. You do need to use these tools. Google Cal is an amazing thing. I literally send calendar invites to my friends just to hang out because I lock it in, I put it in the calendar, I follow through, or I can reschedule and not forget if things come up. I can work with it, like life's dance. I can sidestep if I need to, but at least I can communicate with that person and let them know, as opposed to being like, oh, sorry, I forgot. That's just, sorry, I forgot is not an excuse. Be more organized. Declare that for yourself. Like, it's just you who gets to decide if you're organized or not, or if you're this or you're that. Be organized. Be on time. Like, be on it. Be in control of your life. Some people think they're not responsible for everything. You're 100% responsible for everything. If somebody's being a horrible person to me, I do not blame that person for being not kind. I take responsibility for the fact that I somehow ended up in that room and allowed that opportunity or situation to occur. It's on me. If I'm there, it's my fault. Everything's my fault. It's probably where the trust and independence comes in. But I don't know, it works. Like, I don't blame people for anything. It's on me. And that I think some people don't want to realize, because if bad things happen, like you get in a car accident, my philosophy is it's your fault. And they said, well, somebody hit me. It's like, well, it's your fault. Your energy attracted that. And they're like, excuse me? And I say, yeah. And it's like, when you take complete ownership over your life for the good and the bad, that's when you're in charge. That's when you can make a change. Because you realize it's all up to you. You're no longer living in a victim state, victim mentality. It's such a waste of time. Like, it just doesn't do anything. Putting blame on anyone else does nothing. It only hurts you and slows you down. It really doesn't affect anyone else. If anything, it pushes other people away from you, because nobody wants to be around a victim. Well, unless you're another victim, but then that's just a downward spiral, and I don't encourage it. Take responsibility. Or be grateful. Okay, certain things in my life. Say my life. Okay, my mentality is me, but not even. Like, my parents taught me how to think and be and live this way. But it was my choice to embrace it. There's some people who don't follow in their parents' footsteps, for better or for worse. I'm grateful to have fantastic role models as I'm staring out into this beautiful, vast ocean in this environment that I didn't create for myself, but I'm, say, not a drug addict. I'm have made good choices to stay here, at least, to be here. And I do believe that my past lifetimes have brought me to this point. So I do thank my soul for being born into this family. Obviously, I thank my family for being my family and creating this life for me. But I do believe that I chose this family for the good, and the bad. Things might come up too, but I still believe, when it's rough, I still believe that I chose this. I just believe I choose everything. And if I didn't, I chose a lesson that I wanted to learn before I came here. And then life's just showing me that lesson. So then I just need to open my eyes or my senses or my chakras, all of the above, to be open to that lesson and receptive and actually learn from it. I just think we're here to keep learning. Somebody said the other day, life's a non-optional interactive experience, like forever evolving interactive experience. And I thought that's hilarious, because it so is. Same thing on taking responsibility, being honest with yourself. First thing I'd like to start with is your time. I don't have time is just not true. It's not a priority. Say it right. Be honest with yourself. At least I will now, instead of saying I don't have time, I'll just say, or like when I have time, I'll say, when I can create time, or, and I'm honest with people. Just say, it's not a priority. Thank you so much. I'm prioritizing this right now. And even my friends, like when I call them and just say, hey, I'm getting close to burnout and I'm going to do this to take care of myself, all of them are like, no worries, Sky, I love you so much. There's a few people in the past who were so upset, I canceled the party or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, they're clearly not my friends because they don't really care that I'm taking time for myself. And so I haven't really seen those people since. All is well in the world. But just be honest with yourself. If it's not a priority, say it's not a priority, at least to yourself. But don't be running with your head cut off, thinking, trying to do everything. It's like, just recognize if there's resistance towards something and you're not doing something, why? Dive into it. Like, why? When there's people at work who aren't really fulfilling a task or a role, it's not like I don't push harder for someone to do something. I will sit down and have a conversation and figure out what the resistance is towards that thing. And usually it's just a belief system. One person didn't want to write things down or use their Google Calendar because they had a fear that, just a fear, like it's intimidating to write things down because then they have to follow through and then this and then that. And it's like, okay, great. I'm glad we can actually dive into that and figure out what the source is that's holding you back, as opposed to just forcing someone to do something. It doesn't work. So if there is resistance, again, be honest with yourself. Dive into it. Ask yourself questions. Why are you not moving in that direction? Like, why? Do you just need to change new beliefs and empower yourself? Probably. It's not that hard. My last few little comments were here. It's impossible to feel alone. I've already touched on that, but bringing it back. If there's nature, if there's a tree, you're not alone. If there's the ocean, you're never alone. Just as simple as that. Or listen to an audiobook. I have been around town laughing to myself. And people are looking at me and it's like, well, I'm listening to an audiobook and the author is hilarious. So I just feel like I'm hanging out with the author. That's kind of how I feel like right now. I'm fully alone. Well, not fully alone. Obviously, I just said I'm never alone. But there are no human beings around me right now. But I don't feel alone. I mean, I've been chatting for like the past half an hour. And it feels like I'm talking to a bunch of people. And I honestly almost kind of black out when I do these podcasts. That's why I need to take notes before, so that I can summarize it after. Because otherwise, whenever I speak most often to people, I'm just channeling. Like, I don't really remember what I say because I'm not necessarily thinking about saying. I'm just saying what needs to be heard from whoever's listening. So if you're listening, know that you are meant to hear this for a reason. I don't believe there are any coincidences or chance happening. I think everything's meant to be for a reason. And when people pop up into my life, even for just a moment, I kind of take into account like why that person came into my life and what I'm supposed to learn, even if it was just for a day, just a brief meeting. I also tend to dive into my thoughts a lot and, quite introspective. So if you feel alone, number one, don't. It's so unnecessary. And two, find some tools to help you. Listen to a book. Get out into nature. Actually look at the trees. When I'm running in the mountains, I will, kind of, like I'm running, but I'll just sort of place my hand on a tree as I'm passing by it. And I'll say thank you for having me, because it's its home. And I'm running all over its ground and, its roots. And so I'll just say thanks. And I feel like I'm with so much energy in the world. It's amazing. If anything, sometimes I feel more alone with people than I do with nature. But that's just in certain environments, usually involving alcohol, that I think, kind of turns off the humanity switch. But also, you should feel alone sometimes. Like, you shouldn't feel alone, but you should be alone. Solitude is power. Solitude is privilege. Solitude is phenomenal practice. You should go inside and be quiet and listen to what your soul is saying, and listen to yourselves, and listen to your body. Like, listen to your mind, body, soul, spirit, emotional body. What is it? Visualize inside of you. For me, I pulled one of my oracle cards the other day and it said emotion, and then it it said, see what emotion is within you. And so I closed my eyes and I saw this sort of like blue blob in my throat and going up like my chest to my head, like through my throat. And it was sadness. But part of it wasn't mine. Like, it's not my sadness. Some of it is, but a lot of it isn't. But I just feel other people's emotions a lot. That's why I tend to be alone a lot, just because I'm so sensitive. And I just need to, like, debrief to, like, let everyone's stuff go, because I kind of take it all on. But that was a cool thing, because I saw it, and I felt it, and I just sort of tried to dissolve it with love. It was a really powerful thing, actually. I was dissolving a heart block. I don't know when I started building this heart wall. Maybe it was after Alexandre passed. I don't know. I'm still trying to learn. I don't know. But a few people have told me I have a heart block, and I recognize that now because I tend to attract emotionally unavailable people for the past few years, ever since Alexandre passed. Well, maybe after that. I don't know. I think that was a big thing that happened. Obviously, it was a big thing. It was grief and loss. Anyways, so the other day I went inside my heart and I took, sorry for the noise, but like, you've gotta love airplanes. Helicopters. I want a helicopter license. So ADD. And I went inside my heart, like outside my heart, but in between my heart and the heart wall. And I visualized it as bricks, just like a wall of bricks. And I thought, okay, first I'll try to take, one brick off. And then I thought, oh my God, that's going to take ages. I got to go faster ways. So then I took a hammer to inside this wall and I was trying to break it from the inside out. And just kept hammering away and it was doing nothing. Then I thought, okay, violence is not the answer. No, just kidding. This one at a time is not going to work. A hammer is not going to work. So I started visualizing a liquid of love and flowing, like this love flowing in between each brick and dissolving the wall, dissolving the grout in between the bricks and the bricks. And then it just started to melt. And then, not synchronicity, I don't know how to say the correct term for that one, but this book that I started reading yesterday, so this was like a couple days ago, and then yesterday I read that love melts like blockages, and I thought, wow, I intuitively knew that the other day when I found love, so sweet, oh Sky, when I brought love into this heart wall and I started to dissolve it, and I thought, oh, how exciting. So it is important to take time to be on your own so that you can work on yourself, so that you can show up better in your life for yourself and for others, for everything and anything. And then don't feel like, you're becoming this person and then you need to stay this person. You can change again and again and again and again. I want to try new activities that I never thought I ever wanted to try before. I want to dance. I want to sing. I am not good at that stuff, but I'm also accepting the fact that I can start. I don't have to be great just when I start. Like Mozart didn't play Mozart first time he started, So just accept where you are. Accept the fact that you can change, that you should change, and have fun with it. Anyways, that's my Monday self-expression for you. And I'm here to help. Oh, so I'm also, I made a book. You guys know that. But I'm also doing coaching sessions. So if you'd like a free consultation and you want to go over it, and I don't like the word consultation. If you just want to talk about your life and make it better and live in a high performance state, just call me. We'll chat about it. I just want to help. I want you to live your best life, but it does take work. It doesn't just happen. Things don't just, some things do happen if you're in the flow, but you have to get in the flow, or surrender to the flow. But it does take some conscious action towards it. Even if there's no action, there's decisions behind it. Anyways, I'm here to help. I love you. Call me, email me, call me. Whatever. Kim Possible. Okay, love you so much. Have the best Monday ever. Thanks for listening to tonight's podcast by Sky Lila. Mwah. I love you.